Hi, I'm Elizabeth from Sweet Elizabeth's Organics, and I have celiac disease. And I wanted to share with you what my journey has been like in order to possibly help you on your journey, or a family member that's suffering from this horrible disease, or possibly any intolerances that can be just as devastating physically and emotionally. Unfortunately, my symptoms began in childhood. What started off as a stomach ache and continued to worsen throughout the years. Once I got into college, it was pretty bad. It turned into headaches, joint pain, severe bloating. To the point where I could wear a pair of jeans one day and then the next day I couldn't even put them on because there was so much bloating and inflammation. My symptoms continued to worsen over the years, especially with each pregnancy. During my pregnancies, I felt well, but after my kids were born, I became extremely ill. After my last daughter was born, it was hard for me to get out of bed. I crawled up the stairs because I was in so much pain. I had severe back pain, constipation, brain fog. I felt like I couldn't even carry on a conversation. There was so much joint pain in my hands and weakness that I couldn't even open a water bottle. I knew that it was time to do something about this. I had been to so many doctors beforehand, but celiac disease was not something that was well known at the time, especially when I was a kid. I'm kind of older. And so it was a real struggle, and my symptoms just kept getting worse with no answers. Until I decided to take it into my own hands. I started researching my symptoms, and lo and behold, gluten kept coming up. And what I realized was that within 24 hours of pulling it out of my diet was that I had a severe problem. I felt better after I pulled it out, so I knew that it was something that was going to be long term. At the time, I had 100 pounds of flour in my freezer, and I was a bread baker. And so at that time, it was just time to get rid of it. And I cleared the cabinets, our refrigerator, got new pots and pans. I did everything. Because when you have celiac disease, it's not a joke. It's serious, and it can be very devastating to your health if you don't follow strictly. So that's exactly what I did. During that time, I had to alleviate more foods from my diet because I was reacting to those as well. I had really severely damaged my intestines and my stomach, and the stomach acid in there as well. So during that time, there was a lot of healing that needed to happen, both physically, emotionally, mentally, because it really weighs on you. I remember asking my husband one day if he gets stomach aches after he eats every time. And he was like, no, he's like, if I have the flu, of course. And so it had gotten to the point where I thought that was normal. I thought that that's just how everybody felt. And I thought feeling devastated was just kind of part of life, and it's not. So being a bread baker and having to restart my entire thinking process of how to bake, I actually warded off baking for an entire year after going gluten-free. I was also dairy, soy, corn, peanut, and egg-free. So you can imagine having to develop recipes around that was very frustrating. We had a lot of bricks that we had to try to eat that came when I was trying to make bread. But then I found my rhythm, I found my groove, and it was because of my daughter. She asked for a coffee cake and on her birthday, and so anything that they ask for, I make for them. And she wouldn't take no for an answer, and I'm so glad that she didn't, because that was the first recipe that I created for Sweet Elizabeth's Organics. And I'm just so grateful for the community that is now surrounding us, and I'm excited to share everything with you about my journey and just helping to educate on products and how to make gluten-free deliciousness in your home as well, because we do have our baking mixes that can be shipped right to your door. So thank you for being here. I celebrate you. I see you, and love and health, friend.